Parenting has a funny way of keeping even the most accomplished people grounded. No matter how successful someone becomes in their professional life, children often provide a reminder that at home, they are simply mom or dad. This story revolves around a well-known television personality whose enthusiasm and love for her children unexpectedly became the source of a family joke. What began as a simple moment at a youth sporting event quickly turned into a relatable story that resonated with parents everywhere. Beneath the humor lies a heartwarming message about family dynamics, growing independence, and the balancing act between supporting children and giving them space to become themselves. A mother's enthusiasm takes center stage. Every parent expresses support differently. Some watch quietly from the sidelines, while others cannot help but become emotionally invested in every play, point, or score. In this case, a mother's natural excitement became the center of attention. Her enthusiasm was never intended to embarrass anyone. Instead, it came from a place of love and genuine encouragement. She wanted to celebrate every achievement and show her children how much she cared. However, what parents view as supportive behavior can sometimes feel very different from a child's perspective. Young teenagers are especially aware of how they appear in front of their friends and teammates. As a result, even the smallest display of parental excitement can feel larger than life. This humorous clash between a devoted parent and an independent child became the foundation of a story that many families instantly recognize from their own experiences. The moment that changed everything. Sometimes it takes only a brief moment to create a lasting family story. During a volleyball match, a simple expression of excitement unexpectedly became a memorable turning point. The mother enthusiastically called out the score during the game, believing she was simply participating in the atmosphere and supporting her child. From her perspective, it was harmless and encouraging. For her daughter, however, the reaction was entirely different. The teenager responded with the kind of expression that many parents know all too well, a mixture of embarrassment, disbelief, and a silent request for less attention. While the moment itself was small, it represented a larger reality about adolescence. Teenagers often seek independence and prefer to separate themselves from anything that might draw unwanted attention. What followed became a source of laughter within the family, and eventually among audiences who could easily relate to the situation. Understanding the teenage perspective. The teenage years are often filled with emotional growth, self-discovery, and an increased awareness of social surroundings. Young people begin developing their own identities and become more sensitive to how they are perceived by peers. This stage of life can create situations where parents and children see the same event through completely different lenses. A parent may view cheering as an expression of love and encouragement, while a teenager may interpret it as unwanted attention. Neither perspective is wrong. They simply reflect different priorities and experiences. Understanding this difference is one of the challenges of parenting adolescents. It requires patience, flexibility, and a willingness to respect boundaries even when they seem amusing or unnecessary. The story highlights this reality perfectly. It reminds us that growing up often involves finding a balance between accepting support from family and establishing a sense of independence. A family filled with personality. One of the most charming aspects of this story is the glimpse it provides into family life. Each family member appears to have a distinct personality and perspective. The children are confident enough to express their feelings openly, while the parents demonstrate a willingness to listen and adapt. This dynamic creates an environment where communication is encouraged and respected. Families thrive when everyone feels comfortable sharing their thoughts, even if those thoughts occasionally lead to humorous disagreements. The interactions reveal a household filled with affection, honesty, and mutual understanding. Rather than creating conflict, the situation became a source of laughter and connection. It shows how strong family relationships often include moments of playful disagreement. These experiences become stories that are retold for years, strengthening bonds and creating cherished memories that everyone can look back on with a smile. The influence of childhood experiences. Many of our habits and behaviors are shaped by the environments in which we grow up. For this enthusiastic parent, a lifelong love of sports played a major role in shaping her approach to cheering and supporting her children. Having spent years surrounded by athletic events and energetic crowds, She learned that enthusiasm was a natural way to express encouragement. Sporting events were associated with excitement, community, and emotional investment. Those experiences became part of her identity and influenced how she participated in her children's activities. This background helps explain why remaining quiet on the sidelines felt so unnatural. Her excitement was not an attempt to draw attention to herself. Instead, it reflected a lifelong belief that showing passion and support is a meaningful way to connect with others. The story reminds us that our upbringing often influences how we express love and encouragement later in life. Why people related to the story? The reason this story gained attention is simple. It feels familiar. Countless parents have experienced similar situations where their good intentions collided with their children's desire for independence. Whether at a sporting event, school function, or social gathering, many families have encountered moments when enthusiasm and embarrassment unexpectedly meet. Audiences recognize themselves in the story because it reflects universal family experiences. The details may differ from household to household, but the emotions remain remarkably similar. Parents want to be involved and supportive. Children want to feel independent and confident among their peers. Finding the right balance can be challenging, yet it often leads to humorous and memorable situations. The widespread reaction demonstrates how powerful relatable stories can be. People connect with authenticity, especially when it reveals the everyday realities that unite families regardless of background or circumstance. The value of healthy boundaries. Although the story is humorous, it also highlights an important aspect of healthy family relationships: boundaries. As children grow older, they naturally seek greater control over their lives and personal experiences. Allowing them to express their preferences helps build confidence and independence. In this case, the daughter felt comfortable communicating her feelings, while her mother ultimately respected those wishes despite finding the situation amusing. This mutual respect demonstrates a healthy family dynamic. Boundaries are not signs of distance or rejection. Instead, they can be expressions of trust and understanding. They allow relationships to evolve as children mature and develop their own identities. Parents who acknowledge these boundaries often strengthen their connections with their children over time. The story serves as a reminder that listening, adapting, and respecting personal space are important parts of maintaining strong family relationships throughout every stage of life. Finding humor in parenthood. Parenthood is filled with unpredictable moments that often become the best stories later. The ability to laugh at oneself is one of the greatest gifts a parent can possess. Rather than feeling offended or discouraged, this mother chose to share her experience with humor and honesty. Her willingness to embrace the situation made it even more relatable and endearing. Families frequently encounter moments that do not go according to plan. Expectations and reality rarely align perfectly. Yet those unexpected experiences often become the most memorable and meaningful. Humor allows parents to navigate challenges with grace, while teaching children valuable lessons about resilience and perspective. By laughing together, families strengthen their bonds and create a positive atmosphere where imperfections are accepted. This story demonstrates that sometimes the most cherished memories come from situations that initially seem embarrassing or frustrating. A lasting lesson about family connection. At its core, this story is not about volleyball games or cheering from the sidelines. It is about family, communication, and the evolving relationship between parents and children. As children grow older, they naturally seek greater independence, while still relying on the love and support of their families. Parents, meanwhile, must learn when to step forward and when to step back. This balance is rarely easy, but it is essential for healthy growth and development. The story captures this transition with warmth, humor, and authenticity. It reminds us that strong families are built on trust, respect, and the ability to understand one another even when perspectives differ. Most importantly, it highlights the enduring power of showing up, being present, and supporting loved ones through every stage of life, even when that support occasionally needs to be delivered a little more quietly from the sidelines.